of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item of business is to establish a quorum, and we have everybody here. The next item, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from last month's meeting?
We have two months.
And everything. So if everybody's had a chance, so we'd take at this time to approve the minutes from January 22nd meeting.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. There's only three of us here, remember?
The next item is the minutes from the February 18th meeting, which has everybody had a chance to review those minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Excuse me, who made the motion? Thank you.
Okay, and I'd just like to thank everybody for sitting where they are and everything tonight with what's going on in the world. Next item is anybody that plans on speaking at tonight's meeting, please stand to be sworn in by Gary, please. Anybody that plans on speaking.
Swear to tell the truth, so help you God.
Thank you very much. We've got three items tonight. The first one is a public hearing, a development standard variance request to allow a 5-foot rear yard setback in an LB zoning district located at 2822.
Yes, okay, so as stated in your packet, this is Victory Door Distributors out on East Main Street. They are requesting a setback variance. They're adding on to an existing structure, and that building received a variance in 2018 to exceed the setback requirement. And he's merely doing the same thing with this addition. And staff does not have any issues.
Stevens, you want to come up and say anything about it or anything?
Did a building, got the variance for that one just simply because there was already a building on the property just to match that. Have a need now to extend that building 48 feet further to the east for aesthetics and just best use of the property there.
Haven't heard anything from your neighbors or anything like that.
Had a, Mr. Cantrell came over and, but it was more of a complimentary visit just for. I thought it was gonna be, I was concerned about that. No, it wasn't.
It's an addition to the building that's on the east property line that runs north and south, right?
Yes, it is the it would be truly the far northeast corner. Far north, yep, right
Right
there.
there.
That bright white roof is the most recent addition, and this is new building is continuing 48 feet to the east.
To the east, to the north. So it's 48 feet wide.
Catching back here.
Oh, this is the one you're
Yeah,
extending.
this one,
I
sorry.
thought it was this one.
Nope, no, I'm sorry, it's this one here. It's going just 48 this way, but it's only 10
Okay.
feet.
It's already 5 foot. Yeah. Wrong building. That's what I was confused.
Anybody else? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
At this time, I'd open up to the public. Is anybody here that wants to speak on this request? Close the public part of it. This time, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. I move that we approve the variance sought by Jim Stevens, Victory Door Distributors Incorporated, petitioner in BZA petition number 20-15 to allow a building to reduce the minimum rear yard setback to 5-foot setback. This petition has satisfied the requirements for variances under the state law for the following reasons. 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. 4, reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed findings of fact. 2, the use and the value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed findings of facts. 3, the strict applications of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property for the reasons stated in petitioner's proposed findings of fact. And I move that this approval be made no conditions.
This time do we have a second?
Second.
This time, Gary, if you would, please.
Roll call vote, Dr. Swords?
Aye.
Mr. Tussey?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Sheets?
Aye.
I vote aye, motion carries 5-0.
It is therefore the decision of this body that this variance petition is approved, subject to the conditions which were done. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and could I just mention, you can't begin construction till you get a permit. All right, thank you. Just gonna throw that out there. Okay.
That's something new to you? Is that something new to you? Not starting without a permit?
It's not specific to him.
Okay, I saw Ben, you just come in. Gary, would you want to, you're probably going to speak, correct, Ben? I would assume. If you would stand and Gary will swear you in and everything like that.
Swear to tell the truth, so help you God.
The next item of business is development standard variance request for property located at 934 Sycamore Lane. We've got two issues. We've got development standard variance to allow, and this other one is a use variance.
And I'm going to let Ben speak to this project, so he can give you a really good explanation of what they're requesting.
Ready?
Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Ben Comer, 71 West Marion Street, Danville, representing Sycamore Services, who owns and utilizes the former church building at 934 Sycamore Lane here in town. Pat Cockrum is here with us tonight from Sycamore Services, and also a couple of board members with us tonight, so thank you for joining us and show support and to answer any questions you might have. So Sycamore Services is a nonprofit corporation since 1961. It provides training services to individuals with intellectual and development disabilities. Their primary business location in town is at 1001 Sycamore Lane. And if you can envision up here on the corner at the three-way stop, their primary 1001 is on the right, on the south side of Sycamore Lane, and then the church facility is on the left as you sit facing east in that three-way stop. So the 934 location, the church building, is a secondary and ancillary to their primary business operations. So as part of their developmental services, they operate a small printing business to give some people some hands-on training about how to conduct a business. That portion of their operation is currently located off-site, and they wish to bring it in and operate from the 934 Sycamore Lane building. That church building is 2,800 square feet. It's being underutilized. They've got plenty of space to do it. They would plan to do it on the upper floor of that building. It has the space, the access, the parking, and the support staff right there to help them do what they need to do as part of this pre-vocational development service. It's not a large operation. It's truly secondary to the other things that they do. But the business itself consists of copying, binding, and graphic design. They only have 3 printers and copiers, a binding machine, and some computers in the operation is all there is to it. So this is not a large operation. But the hours they would be open is from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the weekdays. And they anticipate the maximum number of cars coming onto their site at any given time is 2 or 3. And that would be a big day, or a big time if they had 2 or 3 customers at any given time. The building is located in a residential district. They operate right now, their primary business operates there on a use variance. So we have asked for 2 variances to allow the printing business. One, a use variance because it is in a residential district. So to conduct this business, we do need a use variance for the printing district in a residential zoning. And then the second variance we've applied for is it is being operated in conjunction with their primary business activities, so it could be considered 2 different business activities. We consider it one, the same, but it could be considered 2 different, and for that reason, to just cover the bases, we filed a second principal use variance. We believe we meet the criteria for these variance approvals. The staff has analyzed our application and recommends approval in their staff report, and we would ask this board to consider approvals tonight. Here to answer your questions. Thank you.
They're not planning any external signage for this.
I think that's correct.
The only thing, if we were to change Pat Cochran's, anything at all, sign out front right now, base of that sign.
Or
It may require further. I will have to check the ordinance just to make sure, since it's a residential zoning district, it's possible that it could require further.
We'll work with Lisa on that.
And is this replacing, you closing your operation out of Mayville?
that's the only thing that I would have a little problem with. This is still in a residential
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Yeah, we'll have to meet the ordinance in that regard. We have not filed for a sign variance, so we'll have to meet the ordinance.
How many people are involved in working in this operation, do you expect?
We have 3 people, 3 individuals, and then we have some individuals. Intellectual development. Part of what we want to do, closer to our, so that we can get more involved. Where it is now.
Thank you very much. This time I'll open it to public. Is there anybody here tonight that wants to speak on either one of these? We'll take them together, but. Okay. This time I'll close the public part of it and open it amongst the board here for any discussion or,
I'll make a motion.
okay? At this time I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. I move that we approve the use variance sought by petitioner Pat Cochran on behalf of Sycamore Services and BZA petition number 20-16 to allow a printing business to be established in a R2 zoning district. The subject property is located at 934 Sycamore Lane. Petition has satisfied the requirements for variances under state law for the following reasons. 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community, for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed findings of fact. 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property and included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner, for reasons stated in petitioner's proposed findings of fact. 3, the need for the variance does arise from some condition peculiar to the property involved for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. And 4, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will constitute an unnecessary hardship if applied to the property for which the variance is sought for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. And 5, the approval does not interfere substantially with the town's comprehensive plan for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. And I move that this approval be made subject to no conditions.
Second.
Okay, if Gary, if you do a roll call, please.
I'll vote Dr. Swords. Mr. Tessie.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson. Sheets.
Aye.
I vote aye, motion carries 5-0.
For the decision of this body that this variance is approved, subject to the next item is for the development standards.
I make a motion. I move that we approve the variance sought by Patrick Cockrum on behalf of Sycamore Services petitioner in BZA petition number 20-17 to allow a second principal use on a single lot. This petition has satisfied requirements for variances under state law for the following reasons. The approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community for reasons stated in petitioner's proposed finding of fact. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included will not be affected adversely in a substantially adverse manner. B, for reasons stated in petitioner's proposed finding of fact. And 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. And I move that this approval be made subject to following conditions, and I have none.
This time do we have a second?
Second.
Gary, if you would, please.
Roll call vote, Dr. Swords. Tessie.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. Sheets.
Aye.
I vote aye, motion carries 5-0.
It is therefore the decision of this body that this variance is approved subject to conditions which are very much. Next item of business is a developmental standard request for a special exception request to be located at 396 Lincoln Street.
Yes, this is a proposal to eventually create 3 lots. Currently, there are 2 lots there. On one of those lots was a house that has recently been raised. On the other lot was a garage that's been raised as well. They're asking for a lot width variance. They're just barely under the 75 feet minimum requirement. And they're also asking for a special exception to allow 2-family dwellings in an R2 district. Staff is not opposed. There are other multifamily just across the street to the west somewhat. There is a multifamily of 5 units, and then if you go further west, there are some apartment buildings.
House that was torn down, isn't that the one where the guy used to always collect everything? And you'd have
Yes.
to send him a letter to
Yes.
well, that's gonna be an improvement.
Oh, yeah, it is already.
Yeah, you're right. I went by there today and I thought, oh.
Question kind of related to this.
I don't know. I think they're gonna have to do one here. I'm not 100% sure, but we have really began to really enforce getting right-of-way permits for cuts, and we've really cut on that. So requiring bonds. Hopefully it won't be
I've just noticed one.
really. Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
understand.
say.
No, I understand.
Yeah, check with Barry, or I can check with Barry and send you an email, let
Yeah, I
you know.
appreciate
I think they're gonna come across our driveway.
ask Barry about that.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm Mike Sells with Cruise Consulting. Our offices are located at 7384 Business Center Drive in Avon. I'm before you this evening on behalf of Mr. Dwayne Lane, Stone Gray LLC, who's seated directly behind me this evening. And Lisa has pretty much summarized the petitions that are before you this evening. And I guess I can address them as one, and you can act on them individually if you would like. As part of your packet, we submitted a plot plan that illustrates the development intent. And the R2 development standards per that zoning classification requires that a lot within that district have a width of 75 feet. Now, for the 3 lots, we're short 4 inches on each particular lot, so we're that far from being in compliance with the ordinance itself. And given the existing development along Lincoln Street, if they're in that area, we feel that this would be complementary to the existing and present uses. So we would make that request before you this evening. And we're pleased to say that staff has no objection to this request, and that would not have a negative impact on the surrounding properties. The second petition before you tonight is requesting a special exception to allow the construction of duplex units within the R2 district. Again, we have provided, as part of your packet, a plot plan that illustrates the placement and construction of those particular units on the lots that we presented as part of the previous variance development request. To minimize impact on the existing Lincoln Street, each individual lot would have 1 drive. So it would be 3 drives to 3 lots instead of 6 drives to 6 units. And given the existing development along Lincoln Street, there are a number of multifamily uses. And I think there are some non-residential uses along that area too. So we don't think this would have an adverse effect on the existing surrounding property. So that kind of summarizes it in a nutshell there, and we'd be glad to answer any questions you may have. If you have any questions regarding the actual building structures, Mr. Lane would be able to address those.
If it's not granted for the, what?
They would have to reduce the number of lots or try to acquire additional property from it.
What it would do, if it would reduce the lot count from 3 to 2 if this was not approved, or Mr. Lane could approach an adjoining property owner to acquire a 1-foot strip to make the, so that would be summarizing.
Is there any response from the neighbors?
I think we maybe had a few people come in the office. I didn't personally talk to them, but I did ask Barry. He talked to a couple of people. No major news.
Okay.
One call from one of the interested parties, and they were just inquiring as to what a duplex unit was. You know, how's that defined? And that was it. And I said, if you had any other questions, please contact me.
Okay.
I talked to the lady that directly across the street. What do you think about those? She says, well, are those 2 stories? She wasn't sure whether they were single or 2, but then I went back and looked whether they're single.
Yeah, and they'll have a brick facade along the front of the buildings and everything. So
So she's not okay with it.
we received no significant remonstrance.
How big is that?
Sorry.
How big is the lot?
Let's see. Show on.
21,809 feet, 2 of them are.
Yeah. The actual lot sizes are twice the minimum required per the zoning ordinance.
They're deep,
No.
really deep.
They're deep, yeah.
200, almost 300 feet deep.
Yeah.
Oh, some woods to the north side of these lots. So, you know, a portion of,
Yeah, but the lot area is more than double the minimum required.
As far as reducing the width of it, day and age, everything up, so it's 75 feet.
yeah, be around
If
here.
you come in 74.3, then you'd have.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Wants to speak? Okay, at this time, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. I move that we approve the variance sought by Dwayne Lane, petitioner in BZA petition 2018 to allow a reduced lot width of 74.66 feet, section 7.6F 2 of the Danville zoning ordinance. This petition has satisfied the requirements for variances under state law for the following reasons. The approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. Just findings of fact. For the reasons stated in petitioner's proposed findings of fact, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. B, for the reasons stated in petitioner's proposed findings of fact. And C, three, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. B, for the reasons stated in petitioner's proposed findings of fact. And I move that this approval be made subject to the following conditions, no stated conditions.
This time we have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. This time, Gary, if you would do a roll call.
Roll call, Dr. Swords? Aye. Bessie?
Aye.
Thompson?
Aye.
Aye.
I vote aye, motion carries 5-0.
It is therefore the decision of this body that this variance petition is approved, subject to the condition. Next item is item number 20-19.
Did we discuss that? I'll make a motion. I move that we approve special exception petition number 20-19 sought by Dwayne Lane Stone Gray LLC to allow two-family dwellings in an R2 zoning district as required by section 7.6E.14 of the Danville zoning ordinance on property located at 396 Lincoln Street as having satisfied the requirements for special exceptions under section 5 of the Danville zoning ordinance for the following reason. The special exception is listed in the specific zoning district involved. Special exception will not be detrimental to or endangering the public's health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare. B, for reasons stated in petitioner's proposed finding of fact. The special exception requested will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted nor substantially diminish and impair property values within the neighborhood. B, for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. The special exception will be served adequately by essential public facilities and services such as highways, streets, police, and fire protection, drainage structures, refuse, disposal, water and sewer, and schools, or that the persons or agencies responsible for the establishment of the proposed use shall be able to provide adequately any such services. B, for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. Special exception will not create excessive additional requirements at public expense for public facilities and services, nor be detrimental to the economically welfare community or result in the destruction, loss, or damage of natural science or historic feature of major importance for the reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. At least 1 year has elapsed since any denial by the board of any application for special exception that would have authorized substantially the same for all or part of the site, unless the board determines that the conditions in the area have substantially changed. And I move that this approval be made subject to the following conditions. I have none.
This time we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Gary, if you would, please.
Roll call vote, Dr. Swords? Aye. Mr. Duffy?
Aye.
Thompson?
Aye.
Mr.
Aye.
Vote aye, motion carries 5-0.
Therefore, this decision is this right that this special exception is approved. Very much.
Just quickly add, they will be going to the Plan Commission for plating, which will get further review. So,
Thanks for moving the sign. I saw where you put it. 200 South.
Hey, Jim?
Thank you very much.
Wouldn't check. You had a sign over here. Yeah.
so
Asking to remove it.
I guess a positive in doing this project is there is going to be a short section of sidewalk that will be constructed. They
What?
will have to put in sidewalks.
What'd you say?
I said they will have to put in sidewalks, so we're going to have just a little bit of sidewalks on Lincoln Street.
Oh, no.
Didn't notice there's
Wait till
about
the meeting's closed before I say
300
anything
feet
else.
missing on Main Street.
Yeah. From Martin to Scares.
Well,
is that
from
what you're
Martin
talking
Drive down to
Malt.
where Becky Cox lives,
Yeah.
that sidewalk.
Right, there's a sidewalk there. That's what made me question. It's kind of strange that there's a sidewalk there and then there's sidewalk next to Martin Drive, but in between, there isn't any.
I understand that the Surge Bar and Grill is done, gone. I was told she has left town.
Oh, really?
That's sad,
Yeah.
but no restaurants are open now, so.
Well, we have met with the owners of the old Danner's lot. They
Yeah.
came in last week. They do have a drawing, and it's gonna be really nice. They're planning to go to the DRC probably, well, April. So they are moving forward.
It's the guy that owns Fast Track.
Yes, they're proposing a 6,000 square foot building. Half of it they are going to use, the other half they're going to lease out. So, and they are actively searching for a restaurant. So hopefully. Yeah, it's not in their favor, right? Yeah. Funny how things can change overnight.
So it looks like a meeting in April?
Yes.
There is, okay.
You haven't heard anything then from the Greek Pizzeria or whatever it was?
Nothing.
They moved to Avon.
Oh,
Did
did they?
So messed up and.
No, the go-figure accountant at Raiders old place, he was fixing it.
He's put new restrooms in there, I know
They-
that, and redone the electrical. Brought a bigger panel in. And the roof, well, yeah.
They're actively searching too. They've been
That's a-
coming to the RDC meetings.
Well, something may be, there may be a lot of places where restaurants are now that
Yeah.
all this.
Don't say that. That's just.
This time, I take a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So
Do we have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
That's your minutes, Malin.
Okay, thanks. And then there's some other
These are.
things.
Did you have those in your packet?